Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you are new. My name is Jess and today I'm going to be walking you through my August Etsy stats in detail, going through what I made this month, where I got my views from, how I think I got those views, and the ways that I think you guys can do that too. I'll be showing you very briefly how I use everbee to check on the ranking of my listings and seeing if they're performing or not. I will show you using Sale Samurai how I make sure I can improve the visibility of my listings, and I'll show you the Pinterest marketing strategy that I have started implementing and the effect that that had on my listings throughout August. I have a discount code for Sale Samurai in the description below. I'm pretty sure it's 20% off. I'll confirm that up here with what the discount code is. So check that out if you want to give Sale Samurai a try. There is a 3-day free trial, so you can try it out with no obligations to see if you like it or not. And I also have a link for everbee in the description below as well. Both of these are affiliate links, so I make a small commission if you do purchase through my links. And if you do, thank you so much. You're supporting my channel and supporting me to keep making these videos for you. So let's dive straight into my stats for Etsy for the month of August. As you can see, my visits were 2,606, which is, I think, more than double what we're used to if you exclude July, because that was the first month that sort of peaked. Before that, our average was about 800 to 1,000. Orders were 72. Which is the highest orders I've ever had in a 1 month period. Our conversion rate dropped down to 2.8 from, I think it was 3.8 or 3.6 in July, which is still amazing. Like, there were months where we were struggling to get to 2 at all. So I'm super happy with 2.8. And then our revenue was nearly $1,400, which is, again, crazy. If we compare this to the previous year, you can see this is huge compared to before. We would normally get 10 visits a day, whereas now we were averaging about 50 to 70 to 80. Our orders came in pretty consistently. The most I had in one day was 6, and there were some days with 0, which is, again, completely normal. I don't expect to get an order every day. So if we scroll down to how shoppers found me, this is now starting to change a little bit. It's always been very equal, slightly more towards the Etsy brought traffic, but now, because as you can see with the social media, my Pinterest marketing has started to get some traction. It started again last month, but it's been picking up more so in August, which is great. It means I'm getting a lot more views. It's not necessarily turning into sales as far as I'm aware. I mean, why am I saying that when my sales are 72? It potentially is. It's hard to know because I can't see how many of the social media clicks resulted in a sale. And then down here to see my most viewed listings, once again, it was my second brain. We sold 19 of these in the month, which is incredible compared to the next highest. So if we put it by orders, the next highest was 8 for my Dark Academia reading planner, which is really exciting because no one was really interested in my Dark Academia templates for a really long time, and now they're starting to sell, which is something that I think you need to take note of with an Etsy store. Just because it hasn't peaked straight away doesn't mean it's not going to. These templates, I didn't make sales on them for a couple months, and if I did, it was maybe 1 or 2, but now they're starting to pick up, which is really cool to see. We quickly pop into my August monthly statement. You can see once again the sales were nearly $1,400. Our net profit for August was $1,163.81, which is incredible. I never expected to make that much money in a month from my Etsy store, like not in my wildest dreams, honestly. Like, I've always had very kind of minimal goals with the store, so seeing it take off is insane. It's so exciting. We are once again a star seller. But one other very exciting thing that happened in August with my second brain template is that we now have a best-selling listing, as you can see here. A bestseller is an item that has had a high sales volume over the last 6 months, which is incredible when it's only been up for 2 months maybe. So that's really exciting. I've shown you guys this a bunch in my Etsy stat videos, but I just want to show you again. How I check that my listings are really performing and doing what I want them to do is that I analyze the listing here with everbee, and then I will go through these stats and just sort of check on them and make sure everything's okay. Our estimated monthly sales is sitting around 18, which is really cool. The views on this particular item has been 1,600, which is crazy. And our conversion rate is 2.8, which stacks up with our conversion rate of the store overall, which is also really cool. And the visibility score is 100, which is what I'm trying to work on most obviously, to make sure that people who are looking for this product can find it. So that's what I try to look for with my listings. If I see any that are really low, I will try go through and update the tags potentially, the title and the description to make sure everything's cohesive and everything is working to get that score higher. A way that I will go through my listings also to make sure that all of those things are working is I will jump into Sales Samurai and I will look at my listing details in here. So you just do this by going to the shops on the side and then finding the listing you want to look at. I'll show you my second brain as well, just since that's the one we've been working through. And then I will search Notion template because that is the main keyword that I'm trying to rank for, because that's what I sell basically is Notion templates. So this is telling me that this listing is a grade B, but all of these things are ticked. I don't know what the less than 5 items in that shop means, so we're just going to ignore that one. But basically, like, I have all the images and then I can go through these other stats and just really like check that everything is working. So here you can see my tags, and then all of them are multi-word tags, which helps if they're long tail keywords. That's better than just like Notion or something really small that's going to be hard to rank in. They're all ticked for unique category, and then I try to make sure that they are in the beginning of the title if possible. So Notion template tends to be the first words, so that's why that one is ticked, and then is in the description. So what I would do if I was trying to increase the visibility on some of my listings that aren't performing as well, is I would go through this, see what tags I have, and make sure that these are all selected, that the search volume and click-through rate is okay, and then I would make sure these keywords are in the description specifically and are also in the title if possible, because obviously the title is so small you can't get them all in, but the main ones that you really want to rank for, like Notion template, are included in the title. So that's another way that you can use a secondary system to really check your listings and make sure that they are performing as you want them to. If you're interested in trying out Sales Samurai for yourself, I have a discount code in my description box. So those are the 2 ways that I check on my listings and make sure they are doing the best that I can get them to perform. We'll now jump into my Notion to show you my overall stats in comparison in a little table, because I find that easier to look at. So as I mentioned, our visits were way higher, more than 1,000 higher than last month, better than every month. I added 4 new listings, which was more than last month. I haven't noticed a massive change on how many listings I add in terms of performance, unless that listing in particular does really well, like my second brain did. Our orders, of course, were the highest we've had this year, and it means we've had 233 for the entire year so far, which is insane. Our average conversion rate is 2.2. We're sitting at 2.8 for last month, and here is our revenue, which was minorly lower because I sold a lot more of my reading planners and media trackers, which are obviously quite a lot cheaper than my second brain, whereas July we sold a lot of the second brain. These were about the same. Net profit obviously was pretty similar too. And then I've started adding notes so that I can see why some months were the way they were, because obviously 6 months down the line, I'm not going to remember that July was when I released my second brain. So I've just added that in now. And then the only thing I really noticed for August was that this was when my Pinterest marketing really took off. So I'll quickly show you my Pinterest hub just so you can sort of see how this is doing now. My monthly views are 140,000. And as you can see from performance, my impressions, saves, and outbound clicks are crazy high compared to previously. They're all up at least 400%. So, in case you're curious how I've done this, just go to my public profile quickly. You can see everything I've created down here. So, this month I released my Dark Academia second brain, and when that released, I created 13 different Pinterest pins that are all slightly different. They all have alternating descriptions and titles, and to be completely upfront, I use ChatGPT to help with this. I will get it to create all the titles for me, all the descriptions for me. I'll just check through them to make sure they are what I want, and then I will dump them all in, and then I will link to my Etsy store, and I will schedule these out for 2 a day is what I've generally done at like 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. just because that seems decently spread out in my opinion, and then I'll just schedule them all out. So sometimes these go really well they'll go, this one, 2,500, this one, 2,000. And then there's some here you see have like 50 or 60, and that's it. But it is getting, as you can see with this little arrow, you can see how many clicks it's getting where people are going and looking at my store. So here, the second brain, it's got 45 clicks, and I don't know how many sales that resulted in, but that's still got 45 more eyeballs on my store. They might not have brought the second brain, they might have bought something else, but this is a free way to market out your store without needing an audience at all. Because as I mentioned, I have 40 followers on here. When I started doing this, I had 10, which I think were all friends and family, etc. So you don't need any kind of social media influence to do well on Pinterest. Obviously, I'm still in the baby stages. There's a lot more that I could be doing with this, but realistically, this is all I personally have time for on top of everything else. So it's still a really good start, and something else that I would recommend on top of Everbee or Sale Samurai to help get your store out there and get it seen. And the very, very last thing I will mention is, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I have a goal for this year to make 500 sales, which at the start of the year, we had only made 100 sales total ever for the lifetime of my store in December last year. We are now at 407 sales, which is looking like my goal of 500 could be achieved before the end of the year, which is crazy. And it's so exciting. And I just want to thank all of you who watch these videos, check out my store, and buy things for helping me get close to achieving this goal. So thank you guys so much. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you found some of it useful in ways that you can implement these strategies into your own store and hopefully also get some awesome results from them. I appreciate you guys being here and clicking on this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It supports my channel so much, and subscribe if you want to keep following along this Etsy journey with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.